and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LANZ.
The only thing better than football is the excitement of all the contests. Catch the Circa Friday Football Invitational at 9 p.m. Eastern with picks from some of the sharpest bettors around the country. Then on Saturdays at 9, watch the Football Contest Show, where our expert hosts and guests go through the consensus choices for some of the biggest betting contests in the world. The fun doesn't stop there. Visit VSiN.com for the full lineup and join us on the Sports Betting Network. This is Make It Rain with Adam Shine.
Garrett Cole is back, which is significant because he opted out of his contract, and then he was like Costanza and just showed back up at work and pretended like he never opted out. Garrett Cole wasn't going anywhere. I mean, if he ultimately signed with the Cubs, he would regret that forever. So I do give him credit for, even though it looks a little embarrassing.
Make It Rain with Adam Shine. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, only on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
I'll tell you how this could throw the entire college football landscape for a big-time loop. This weekend, parlayed with next weekend. I know you like Georgia. What if they lose? Okay, that's loss number 2 on the season. What if they lose against Tennessee?
Can't have them in.
Bye-bye?
I think so. They would need chaos. You need a lot of help. One from the Big 12, one from the ACC to start. That's hard because you're going to be behind a lot of teams in the SEC then.
Including this team, because I think Ole Miss will run the table at that point.
Yeah, right.
They would be behind the winner of the Bama-LSU game, obviously, right? Even though they beat Texas. What if that's Texas' only loss on the season?
Tennessee's in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's an uphill battle, man.
Yep.
If that takes place.
Yep. Drew very aggressive, though, too, saying 4, possibly 5. 5's a reach. Too many of these teams play each other, and then you're assuming there's chaos, which I guess could happen. But I'm looking at 4 right now from the Big Ten. How does the Big Ten not get 4 in? Unless Indiana's boat raced by Ohio State. She's not going to take 11-1 Indiana with Penn State? With Ohio State?
At that point, they probably wouldn't.
You don't think they will?
The committee, Paul,
you don't think they'll take 11-1 Indiana?
You just said if they get boat raced? No, because they're going to look at their schedule and say they beat up on a bunch of bad teams, and they got bullied by the one good team that they played.
Remember, though, they put them on warning. They said, this has to go well for most of these bids. But, okay, I see. I understand your point.
But here's the thing, right? Think about it like this for a second for the SEC. How many teams are getting in from that conference? If Georgia wins this weekend and they beat Tennessee, because the loser of LSU, Alabama, in theory, is also going to be out.
Yeah.
So 5 at that point, 0 chance of happening.
Well, the other thing, too, the pushback is this: if you cover up the team name, like if that said Michigan or Ohio State, and that was their resume, and you don't think Indiana would be top 3?
Of course they would be.
Of course it was, because we just saw it last year. It was Michigan.
Yeah, right.
Michigan played nobody
for the first 7-8 games of the year,
and they were number 1, number 2.
Of course, that's the way it works, right?
Yeah, right. But this has got all the making. It's unfortunate that Florida's down, because we would have a great triple-header to start with Florida and Texas and go into the afternoon games. But I think it's a coaching mismatch. And again, what happened last year, I just have to take Kirby here over Kiffin to get it done. But certainly it makes things easier for the committee if Georgia gets it done. But certainly they have a lot on the line, too. You're right. You don't want to lose this. And then all of a sudden, the Tennessee game, your season's on the line, too. And then the elimination game with Bama and LSU coming up.
If you can find a number on it, because I don't see it yet available on Beck to throw an INT, you have to bet it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to say anything stupid like $2 or higher than that. But if it's respectable, 11 INTs in his last 5 games, and if you go back game by game, it's been 3-3, 2-0, and 3.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just look away. I'm hideous.
Yep.
With those numbers. Now, Ole Miss only has 7 INTs on the year as a defense. Neither Oklahoma or Arkansas threw one. Nussmeier had 2 against them. Sellers had 1. in the South Carolina game.
He's $1.60 to throw a pick.
You see it now?
Yeah, it's at Caesars.
$1.60.
Yeah.
That might be playable.
Yeah.
In the Alabama-LSU game, here's what I like. So I like LSU with the points. I bet that. But in terms of a prop, it's going to be Jalen Milroe over 45. The thing is, like, you can shop around, find the best numbers, right? It's between, at last check, between 45.5 and 52.5 rushing yards at various sports books. So Sellers for South Carolina ran 10 times for 88 yards, scored twice. Jackson Dart did run 15 times against LSU, only for 27 yards. I like Jackson Dart. He's not the runner that Jalen Milroe is. Marcel Reed, 9 carries for 62, and he scored a few times. Milroe last year threw for 219 yards, 0 touchdowns against his bad LSU defense. But he ran the ball 20 times for 155 yards and 4 touchdowns. He also went crazy running the ball against Georgia. Remember, that was off a bye week earlier this year. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking we're going to see like the A-plus DeBoer play calling again here. And Milroe's got to be a big factor. So I had to bet over 45.5, especially when 52.5 was out there.
Yeah, 47.5 right now, Caesars Will Hill. The other thing, though, I would say is in those 2 big road games, Alabama came out slow and flat, and it got them beat. The Vandy game, and they also were not ready for the moment against Tennessee and started out slow. Yep. So they better get off to a hot start in this one as well. And again, our guy Jimmy Ott, ESPN Baton Rouge, not a homer, very objective, loves LSU in this game. Who do you have on upset alert?
I think you have to have Army.
We're running out of these, right? So, hold on to them. This is great. We only got a couple, let's say, these Saturdays left. Did you see the final Saturday we closed with the get-out game? It's New Mexico and Hawaii. What a way to go out. We got an 8 o'clock kick. I also have Army on that list. Don't think Daly, the quarterback's going to play, and what that means for Army. And you saw it last week. Struggled to put away Air Force, couldn't cover, and now you're taking on a mean green team that means business that can score. So I would have to. I like North Texas here, and I think they win outright. I also have Texas State on upset alert as a good size favorite. They're 4-4 now after that great start, and a lot of people picked them to make the playoff before the season. I think they could go down. And I also have Clemson on upset alert.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah, where their heads at. I mean, they need help just to get in the ACC title game. Their resume stinks, and now you lose at home to Louisville, and it was a great spot for you. And how you lost that game. So 6-2, Clemson shouldn't even be ranked, but I have them on upset alert. And on the flip side, Pitt now at home. It's the dream crusher scenario that Kenny White would always talk about. They get boat raced at SMU. And now they're at home against Virginia, laying more than a touchdown. I saw Van Pelt gave out the dog in this last night on ESPN. I just don't think Pitt's that good, and they've been fortunate with their record and where they're at. I won't be surprised if Virginia gets them. And I'm concerned about Pitt after getting blown out. Now they're no longer undefeated.
How about same conference? I think Miami should probably be on upset alert.
Ooh, that's aggressive.
Because the way that they play in all these games, the defense will allow points. There's no doubt in my mind if Haynes King is going to go in this spot.
Got to play. Now it's down to 10.5 at some spots.
Yeah, I see 10.
Trending these. Oh, yeah?
I see a 10.
Oh, he's playing then. Yep.
That's what I would think.
Okay.
The defense is a major problem here. And I cannot take this team seriously as a national title contender.
Oh, really?
They're Baltimore.
They're the Baltimore Ravens?
Yes, they are, but they're worse, actually, I think.
Oh, man.
With the defense. Cam Ward's been amazing. He's a lot of fun to watch. The offense, I mean, come on. Who are you kidding? It's impressive every single week. But the defense...
Well, the right matchups, I think, though. If they draw the right matchups, you're talking about a bye. You get a team that wins, that they're banged up a little bit. You have the Heisman Trophy winner. You're going to score 45.
Who's the right matchup? Okay.
I'm saying that the team that you play that's injured, but team that doesn't have a firepower.
Who would you like, Miami against Penn State?
I'd take Miami. I'd have to take Miami.
Which coach do you trust most between those two?
Well, Miami would be a top 5 team, so I know I have to take Cristobal.
Would you take Miami or Boise?
I would take the 4 with Boise.
Take the 4
That's what Nick Bogdanovich made the line.
Yeah, okay. All right. Would you take Miami or Tennessee?
I'd probably take Tennessee.
I hate Tennessee's offense. All of a sudden, you turn into crap.
I know.
But against his Miami defense, I would actually trust that unit to look good and probably score enough points to win the game. I think Miami has to be on upset alert this week. I think it's too high of a number.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you brought up Clemson. That was so ugly last week, what they did and how they looked. You want to talk about eyeball test?
Yep.
Oh, God. Pathetic job out of that program. And Dabo is completely lost. They keep putting that up on every single game, how his unwillingness to accept transfers and how he's like the only coach and they're like one of the only teams not to have anybody start that transferred in. It's like, okay, can you pick up the pieces why you're not the same program you were 3 years ago? The times have shifted a little bit and you're not moving along with them. Alrighty. How about BYU at Utah?
I can't get there with Utah. I don't care. Rivalry game, everything.
At home?
Whittingham out the door. Yeah, it appears. Yeah,
I could see him.
I don't like it. They're not this fluky thing as people have made them out to be.
No, but I could also see Whittingham leaving on a high note.
Yeah. I think the game that BYU loses would be at Arizona State if Arizona State's healthy. I don't think Utah can do anything offensively to hurt BYU. And I think BYU will do enough to score. I'm surprised it keeps coming down. They're now a 3-point favorite. Can't do it. Other than Oklahoma State, they've been dreadful offensively. How do you lose to Arizona? How couldn't you move the ball against Arizona?
I don't get it.
What happened against Houston also? So many sports in action. No better time to put the VSiN experts to work for you. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber today. Get instant access, every best bet, every host, every guest. Start your VSiN Pro subscription as little as $9.99. See everything VSiN has up your betting game. VSiN.com/subscribe. Get it now. VSiN.com/subscribe.
All right, follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Up next, host here on the network, Mike Somich is going to join the program. Look at his best bets in football for the weekend, including some player props as well. And we've been told he likes another horse coming up. Again, we closed the show last week. He gave out an exacta that paid out a nice price. Find out which horse, which NFL games, next here on VSiN.
Breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh cracked American cheese, bacon. And the second bite is like fresh cracked American cheese, bacon. And the third bite, you get the idea. The boss of breakfast burritos, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
G-Bank is the official bank of VSiN. Why? For one, unlike other credit cards, G-Bank does not treat sports betting transactions as a cash advance. And for every eligible gaming transaction, you'll earn a 1% cashback reward. That's right, 1% cashback rewards on every eligible wager. And you'll earn 2% cashback rewards on all other eligible purchases. Apply for the G-Bank Visa Signature Card today at VSiN.com/GBank. Subject. You spoke, we listened. Introducing the all-new VSiN Watch app. Now, you can watch and listen to VSiN expert analysis live wherever you are. Missed a show? No problem. Catch replays of VSiN's full lineup at any time. View highlights sorted by sport. Or use the search feature to find specific teams and topics you're looking for. And the best part? It's free for a limited time. Download the VSiN Watch app today. Available now on the App Store and Google Play. And join us on the Sports Betting Network. This is Money Moves.
What do we say constantly? Patrick Mahomes has the ball in his hands at the end of the game. Who are you betting? 10 out of 10 times. You're saying you're picking Patrick Mahomes. When he got the ball first, we all knew it. We knew how that thing was going to end. You have an opportunity to beat them right here, right now. You should probably take it. The team in front of you in the division has beaten you twice. It's almost over for your season. 2 yards to save it, and you don't take that track.
Catch Money Moves every weekday at noon Eastern, right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Responsible sports betting starts with a game plan. That means stick to a budget. Keep it social by playing with friends. Learn the game and know the odds. Play with trusted legal operators. And if you need help, reach out. If you're getting in on the action, visit haveagameplan.org to learn more.
Experience Experience the time of your life at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. Live it up with the world's largest sports book, Circa Sports. Get loose and get loud with all sports, all seasons at Stadium Swim. Take in the $1 million views at our rooftop lounge, Legacy Club. Go big and go all night with our luxurious rooms and suites. Book the time of your life today at circalasvegas.com.
A numbers game with Gil Alexander.
If you look at the make-miss playoff numbers, Steelers have a gauntlet coming up. Not quite the gauntlet we thought it was, but at least they banked the 6 wins. So you get the top 5 there.
I can't get past the Steelers' schedule still.
I
can't get over it, man.
Too.
3-1 for them to miss with the schedule that's remaining. It's not as bad as we thought it could be, but this is not easy.
A numbers game with Gil Alexander. Weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Whoops. My bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Let's get some best bets here. VSiN host Mike Somich in studio. His show here on the network is called Ready, Set, Bet on Saturday and Sunday evenings right here on VSiN. Mike, good to see you as always. How are you?
Doing good. Excited to be back here in Vegas. Had the weekend off in a way last week because of the Breeders' Cup. A phenomenal 2 days of racing. Hopefully everyone out there, not a big horse racing person, enjoyed those 2 days. It was a blast to be able to play all those races, a ton of great value. And now excited to get back into football here.
All right, you have another horse that you're going to give coming up.
Yes.
You closed the show last week with an exacta.
Yes.
Beautiful job out of you. Let's begin NFL. Paulie and I are oppo you. We like the Steelers. You like the Commanders, laying 2.5. Why?
I do like the Commanders this week. It's one of those situations where I think you either believe one of two things. You believe in this Steelers defense or you believe in this Washington offense. Neither has faced great competition heading into this week, and so something's got to break. But when I look at this Washington offense and what they've been able to do, I mean, a stat that blew me away this week, 49% of their possessions has been a red zone possession for this Washington Commanders team. Think about that. I mean, 49% of the time they touch the football, they end up in the red zone. That is just wild. And so I look at the Steelers defense, who I don't have as much faith in. They're a top 10 unit here, but they're not a dominant unit when you look at those type of stats. And then you flip it to the other side. This Commanders defense, 4th best in the NFL the last 4 weeks. Again, haven't played the best competition, but they seem to have turned a corner and played a little bit more energized football. Steelers offense, not one that I believe in all that much. I don't think Mike Williams makes much of a difference this week. I'm a anti-Russell Wilson person. I think eventually you're going to see that Justin Fields' legs were a bigger part of that offense early when they were winning football games. So I'm willing to lay it with the Commanders here. I got 2.5. I would wait. I think 2.5 is going to pop up. You can get 2.5 juiced in some places, but I would wait to get 2.5 minus 110. I do think we get that before kickoff here on Sunday.
Monday night, the Giants moved the ball on him, and Tracy got him on the ground. How about the Giants in the Germany game?
I love the Giants here, and I think I'm the only person that's talking about loving the Giants in this spot. But, so first off, just let's talk about the spot here. It's a Carolina Panthers team that just won a football game. You have this emotional high, your second win of the season. Now you have to travel overseas with a rookie head coach who's never done it before. Got to go play in these Germany games. If you look at favorites in these overseas games, they have dominated. They're close to 70% on the covering perspective. And then you look at what the Giants want to do. I mean, we were talking about it during the break. Brian Daboll, going into half, down 14 points, said, I think we ran the ball great. We're going to keep running the football. He just wants to run the football. It's a great team to run the football against. I think the Giants have a lot of success on the ground with both Danny Dimes and just the designed runs, but I also think Tracy has a monster game here. I played his over prop, 73.5 rushing yards. I think he goes nuts against this Panthers defense. And people remember that last drive from Bryce Young. I remember the previous year and a half I've seen him be awful, and just I'm more than happy to play against him in this spot. And we've seen some of the money come in, too. This was sitting at 5.5, 6 for a lot of the week. And I'm not a big splits guy, but this is one of those games where all the bets are coming in on Carolina, yet all the money is coming in on the Giants, and it's moving toward the Giants. Kind of tells you who is betting the Giants versus who is betting the Panthers.
Are you okay doing ladder bets with Tracy up to like 80, 90, 100 yards?
I have not looked at the prices. I think he's going to go for over 100 in this spot. So if you want to ladder him up to 100, I don't dislike that, especially if you can get in that, let's call it plus 320 type range.
Sure. Mitch was making the case Bills-Colts highest scoring game Sunday. How about over 46.5 then?
Someone needs to explain to me why this went down today. It was 47 yesterday, wrote about it for VSiN, do an article on with best bets on Thursday, and I saw it, and I'm like, why are we at 46.5 now? Why did this dip back down? This is a Colts defense that can't stop anybody. Right. We've kind of established that at this point, specifically through the air. The Bills should be able to pick their score, and you go back and you watch that Colts game last week. You take out Richardson to put in Flacco, and then you hand the ball off on first down every single time. You could have handed it off with Richardson and had more success because at least Richardson's a threat to run the football. Yeah. I don't think we see that same style of game plan from Shane Steichen. I think he's going to go toward Flacco's arm earlier and more non-traditional passing downs, which should help them out. We also have to remember they were playing the Vikings. That defense for the Vikings, very good. This Bills defense, not nearly as good. This is one of those games where I think we end up in the 20s for both the teams. So I think it flies over that 46.5 number.
This doesn't make any sense. May almost ran for 100 yards last week. Now his rushing yards are still under 30.
I was shocked this prop didn't go significantly higher. So last week we played May over 24.5 rushing yards. That one got home easily. Second play of the game, I think you mentioned that it went over, Mitch. Like this one, he went for almost 100 yards last week. What are we doing? How are we sitting here at 29.5? He is one of those quarterbacks that if he's healthy, if he's in there, he's going to use his legs to try and move the football. You look at the other weapons that you have for the Patriots, there's just not much on the outside. And he realizes if he wants to make this Patriots team competitive, he's got to be on the move, got to be scrambling. So May over 29.5. This is another one where if you want to ladder it up to 50, I think there is a good opportunity to get well over that 50 number. And you're going to get significant plus money because when you have a prop sitting under 30, every time you go up 10 yards, you're going to get a significantly better bump in that price versus someone who's sitting at 70 or 80.
So far, in 3 of the 5 games that he played this year, he had 38 yards rushing, 46, and then he popped for the 95 last week. He's also, this will tell you, like, and I know some quarterbacks, you can say that they do the same thing when they scramble and get out. They're going to go for a long run. But his longest run so far in each game, 11, 15, 15, 18, 26. He gives you the median there, and you're going to probably hit that over 29.5 more times than not.
Well, it's beneficial here, too. You have a terrible offensive line. Because when he drops back to pass,
it's perfect for him.
You set up with so many of these scrambling opportunities. He's got to start to take off. And even in the play where at the end of the game where he had the ball for 12 seconds before he threw that touchdown pass on 4th down, he showed you the maneuverability he has inside that pocket. That's a huge thing when you are running, is that you can get out of some of that trouble and then take off for 5, 10, 15 yards. And again, if you weren't going to run, last week was the week you weren't going to run. Coming back from injury, coming back from a concussion, and he still took off for almost 100 yards. So it's clearly part of his game. It's one of the parts that he trusts more than any other part when he's back there. And I don't see how, even without design runs, he doesn't continue to rush the ball 5, 6, 7 times a game. And if he's running the ball 7 times a game, this prop should be in the mid-40s, not the high 20s.
Agreed. I said on Monday, with so many lost causes at the position and so many like franchises just like completely screwed moving forward, the Patriots don't have a lot of talent, if any at all. At least they have some promise with this kid.
I mean, I would rather have him than Caleb Williams right now.
Cut it out, Mike.
No,
we're early in the season, but like he's doing it with nothing around him, with no offensive line, and I don't really believe in the coaching staff up there either
at all. No,
Walden's terrible.
The what you see just from a raw talent perspective, with his ability to run around, which isn't going to last forever, but also his ability to stretch the field. I mean, he's like, we saw Brissett in there. He couldn't throw a deep pass. He couldn't get any type of long plays for this offense. And Drake May is throwing 2-3 a game where he's trying to take those shots with these same weapons. So I think that he is wildly exceeded my expectations, we'll say here, for this first season with the talent around him.
The bar was low. Yeah. Bar was low, right?
The bar was low.
Okay, this is good. So every NFC South game has gone over this year. And they're 7-0, and it's 58 points per game. So you think you're not even expecting fireworks here, but you're surprised at how low Carr's prop is.
I mean, I get it. All the wide receivers are out. But come on, man. 193.5? Like, what are we doing? He threw for 230 yards last week with all of these injuries. Like, we didn't have the wide receiving core last week either. He still goes over 230 yards. Now you get an Atlanta Falcons defense that cannot rush the passer at all. And that is the common denominator between all these NFC South teams and why these games are going over. If you don't put pressure on the passer, people are going to be able to throw the football against you. Yeah. I couldn't believe this was under 200 yards. I ran my sim on him. I got 147 as the median, or 247 is the median.
247.
247.
Okay.
So 50 yards over this prop. And like rarely do you see that large of an outlier when I run a large sample size. So to me, this is one of the easiest bets to make. Derek Carr over the 193.5 passing yards. I don't see how he doesn't go over it, especially if the Falcons put up points and the Saints are in chase mode.
Yep, right.
He's going to be throwing the football around the yard.
So ladder then up to 225, 230, 240?
I went up to 250.
250,
just to take a little bit. Because let's say it's a little over what I'm looking for. You're getting good plus money there. Yeah. And when you're getting plus money at 200 and 225, why not take a little bit of a shot?
All right, here we go. Let's make it back-to-back weeks, right?
Get up, you beast.
The floor is yours. Give us a horse, buddy.
We've got 24 minutes to post here. Last race at Del Mar, so they are running today at Del Mar Racing there. I like a couple horses in here. I like the one Ashley. Was originally going to be the pick, but Ashley's even money. We don't want to give out an even money shot. We're looking for a little bit more value. We're going to go to the 2-horse here. Gervin Girl, 8-1 on the morning line, 9-2 right now currently. This is one of only 2 speed horses. Last time out, Gervin Girl broke from the 12 post when turf sprinting all the way on the outside. It is very difficult to break all the way on the outside, clear 11 horses, get to the lead, and then win a turf sprint. But breaking from the 2, it's a lot easier. Only 1 horse to clear, and that horse doesn't have a ton of speed. I like the 2-horse Gervin Girl here, 9-2 right now on the live price.
9-2.
Not bad.
Very good.
Not bad. If you want to play an exacta, 2-1 would be the
2-1 is the way to go.
Yeah.
You live in Santa Barbara. I hope it's okay that I say that.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you ever make the drive down to Del Mar, or with that California traffic, you're like, that's a suicide mission?
Pro tip. You take the train.
Oh,
there's a train, all the Surfliner, all the way from Santa Barbara down, and they have a bar car.
Oh, you're sharp. Yeah, you get it.
On Diamo tomorrow, get the sea bass.
Sea bass, very good.
Sea bass, all right.
There you go.
Like it. I heard you get a bowl of pasta with every meal.
Yes, you do.
Oh, I can't wait.
Go see Miguel too. Best.
Great job, Mike.